Good afternoon, YouTube. Today I'm going to be changing the oil of my 2023 Honda HR-V. And if you wouldn't mind, please give me a like and subscribe if you find my content helpful. On this channel, I'm just trying to do any kind of work that I think might be helpful to people who are looking to do the job themselves. So I hope you find this video informative, and so thanks for watching. So of course the first thing we have to remove is the under tray. It's made out of some kind of aluminum or metal, I'm not sure, but it was fairly light. I'm just examining here all the parts which will need to be removed, the screws that have to be removed, and checking all the holes to see what's actually holding this thing in place. This is the first time I had done this oil change on this car, so it was kind of a learning experience for me. So I already have this thing on the sidewalk, and so I'm going to attempt to remove the cover now. Be sure if you do this job to have a nice tray or some place to put all the bolts. So I'm just trying to locate a flathead so that I can remove the 4 plastic plugs. There it is, yep. They don't take much effort, just counterclockwise, half a turn, and they should pop out. Yep, just trying to find a new camera angle so that you could possibly see some of it. There's another one right there in the left-hand corner, bottom corner. There you go. The back of the tray is also held on a couple of hangers, so you kind of have to just push it down to the back of the vehicle, I believe. There they are. You can see them there in the center of the screen. Those little black hangers. So once I remove the screws, then the piece is free to fall, and then you just push it backwards and the whole tray will come loose. There you go, I'm loosening one, the other, and there it goes. Be careful not to put your hands on the exhaust itself. The engine of this car is fully up to temperature, and it would take about at least an hour to cool off. So just bear that in mind. Of course, if you do this job, you're probably used to the kind of heat from the engine and from the exhaust. I'm just trying to find the right position for the camera here. Apologies for the grunting. It's just here on the road in front of my house, and I don't really have a lot of space to work. I could have put some blocking underneath the tires, but I was just dealing with a sufficient amount of space. So as I remember it, the plug measurement itself, I believe, was 17 millimeters. In hindsight, it probably would have been better to leave some more room to crawl in, to crawl out, I mean. This car has been a wonderful car for us. We've done a bunch of long distance traveling with it. It's very comfortable to drive, and the power is okay. Generally, I found it very interesting that it was so efficient on fuel for being all-wheel drive. Okay, so here we go. You got to give her a little bit more than that. I used the bar to take that off, and I just couldn't get enough leverage on it in that small space. So I quickly got my my torque bar extension, you might say. It's just a nice long one with a socket on the end, and that gave me enough leverage to get it loose. You could also use a short pipe if you wanted. And there it goes. So the oil is quite hot. I would recommend using some kind of gloves, but you have to make sure that you get the little nut, pardon me, the little bolt, and also you have to get the crush washer. That all has to be saved. That can't just fall into the oil pan, the oil drain pan. So, and also be sure to open up the cap on the top of the engine, the oil fill cap. You can see there it's quite black. It's probably been about 6 months since we changed it, maybe longer. this oil was interesting. The way that it drained, I mean, it seemed to have it drained for a very long time. Um, it would look like it was dripping slowly, and then it would come back to strength again by the stream, I mean. And well, it took a long time to actually fully drain. So we're looking there at the oil filter. Because it was taking so long to drain, I actually had to put the little oil plug back in, because my pan is not wide enough to capture both streams at once. So I just kind of closed the hole on the engine oil plug, and then I loosened up the filter until it came out, and then I drained that separately. This tool is actually, I'm borrowing it from my dad. It's just a strap that you can give some torque pressure to, and it will basically loosen the filter off for you very nicely, any size. And it works really well in a tight space. The only downside is that it will dent the filter when you put enough pressure on. But that filter is going to be, gone anyways, so. So you can see there, it's actually still dripping. If I remember, according to the book, the amount of oil in this car is about 4.5 liters, if I'm not mistaken. And so you kind of, I don't really, I go by the dipstick, eh? So I put in, say, 3.5 to be safe, and let the oil circulate, then check the stick, and then fill to the right level until it's between the two holes on the two measuring marks on the dipstick. So I'm just making sure that the filter is fully loose, that I can take it off by hand, and then trying to decide whether I'm going to close up that hole so I can just take the filter off. As I said, the car was draining oil for quite a long time. I would say probably half an hour. And there you go, the plug is back in now, and I'm just going to let that oil drain out of the filter. Even though that Honda filter is a little bit damaged, there's a small kink on the side where I was torquing it. That still functions. It's a little bit, it's just a small kink. I wasn't trying to be rough with it or anything. So I was checking to see if the two filters that my new filter that I bought is still the same size and so on. So there I am, making sure everything is open here on the top. Typically I just put the cap in and try to cover the hole to leave like a 1/8 gap, 1/4 inch gap, so the air can get in and help the oil to drain. So now I'm confirming that the oil is up to spec for this car. I would have liked to put Motul oil in, or maybe even Mobil 1, but they had this Pennzoil on sale, so I bought that. Full synthetic 0W20 platinum. It was within spec for the allowable tolerances for this oil, for this engine. Synthetic oil, yeah. I'm not going to leave that oil as long as I left the genuine Honda oil. I probably will change it sooner. This is the oil filter from the car. So this is the old filter from the car, the Honda spec filter. This is the one I got from Parts Master. This is the one I got from Parts Master. You can see one of them is. I wonder if this gasket comes off. No, it doesn't. It's part of it. As far as I know, they look identical. So, and here we go, my Pennzoil Platinum OW20 protection for 24,000 kilometers. So hopefully this does the job. I can compare the two. Doesn't look that bad. So we'll begin filling. So typically it's good for you to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the filter, and also you can put some oil around the ring to stop it from seizing to the engine. So I did both. I've coated it with a layer of oil around the ring, around the gasket, and also poured about a 1/2 inch of oil in the bottom of the filter. So that's all good. There is some oil on the filter. It makes it a little bit slippery, so I'm going to clean it off as I turn it with one of my rags. Cleaning rags. Just quickly cleaning off the bottom of the pan. Don't leave any oil residue there that can burn and cause smell later on. Everything has to be nice and clean, and also that will help you detect leaks easier. So I'm just going to drain the remainder of the oil out of the engine. There you go, it's been pooling on the bottom of the pan again while it's been draining. I had this suspicion that something fell inside the oil filter, so I decided to take it back down one more time and drain it out and refill it and put oil on the gasket again. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm removing it. Checking the gasket to see if there's enough oil. There wasn't, so quickly I coated that. Off camera, of course. You can see there's oil on it. I mean, it was very slippery when I was putting it on. So the way I was taught, we never try to over torque the filters too much. Typically hand tight and a little bit, maybe a quarter turn over that will do the job. You can see here I'm just trying to be sure that that thing is locked in place. So, but you can always check for leaks again later on, but the under tray makes that difficult. You can't really see it once the tray is back in place, so but you can check the stick to make sure it's not leaking. So here we go, we're filling up the new oil. As I said, we're going to go about 3.5 quarts. 3.5 liter, pardon me. Filling this motor was a little bit weird. There was a plastic piece right in front of the right underneath the fill cap, which prevented me from putting in my funnel the way I used to with other vehicles. So I've never taken the head cover off, the valve cover I mean. But it was interesting. You had to hold it at just the right angle so then the oil drains right to the engine. I quickly measured the can to see how much I was putting in and back at it again. Oil is a little bit tricky at this part. You definitely don't want to overfill it. I don't want to damage any of this motor, especially the catalytic converters. So we're now ready to try and start. Need to clean up here a little bit. Some of the oil dripped on the head and also where I put the can. Make sure that there's no oil that can dry close to the exhaust and burn and cause a smell of oil in the car. So by the book, it says that the car should run about 3 minutes just after filling to let the oil circulate through the motor, as confirmed here in the book. It says a few minutes, and then typically you would wait another 3 minutes for the oil to drain to the bottom of the engine, and then you can take a measurement or reading to see how it compares to the dipstick. Of course, it was a little bit low because I didn't put in the full amount yet. It's always good to go by the manual. So here I am putting a timer on. Okay, so after the start I realized that it was a little bit low, so here I am filling again, and this time of course I'm going by the stick reading. So I'll fill and check the dipstick. And unfortunately some of the oil spilled right there on the grill underneath. But I cleaned it up thoroughly afterwards so that it wouldn't even look like any oil spilled on it at all. So here we go. Back to check the book again, to check how to read the levels properly. And of course, like most of them, it's just put the oil between the two marks. Right in the middle is perfect. Make sure the stick is nice and clean. Checking again, she's still low, I believe. Yep. That was a fair bit. I guess I feel confident that it's up to the right level now. Check it one more time. Oh, and I should mention that I did move the car off of the sidewalk now. It's no longer at an angle. It's more on the level street. Some people may disagree with my using the stick to read it. Some may just go by the book. You fill it with 4.5 quarts. 4.5 liters. Just cleaning off the oil dipstick cap there. As I said, this car has been wonderful to us. My family, we use it a lot for, of course, our daily driver, but also for traveling, and it's quite reliable and remarkable fuel economy for all-wheel drive. So I can say that engine and the drivetrain itself runs very efficiently. Okay, so I'm going to fill it again. Oops, let's not do that. There we go. I believe that's actually now the correct amount. And maybe a little bit more. Definitely, I don't want to overfill it. That's the last thing you want to do. So I believe now that's probably up to the right level finally. And now I have some cleaning to do on the car. I recommend putting a small rag so that you can place anything covered with oil on it so it doesn't get on the car. If I had to do it over again, I would have done that. Would have saved some time cleaning in the engine bay. So that's it. Yep, I seem to be happy with that. That's done now. No, one more time to check it to be 100% sure. Yep. The oil is between the two marks, so it's, by my estimation, exactly where it should be. There we go. Yep, one more time to check. Okay. Just quickly wipe down the engine cover. I clean it more after this video was completed, just because I didn't want any oil to remain on any components. So now I'm going to reset the oil trip computer, if you will. It was tricky for me because this is the first time I've ever tried to set it up. So you find the maintenance menu, and then it said hold the trip computer button. It was actually the little rolling thing in the middle, not the home button, for at least 10 seconds. I thought it was more like 13. There you go. You can start counting when you saw my finger touch it. And then it will give you a sub menu that will ask you to reset codes A, B, it's actually quite an elaborate menu, so I had to go back to figure out which one it was, and after my research was complete, I found that it was A that you had to reset, which was the oil code. And that will set the oil back to 100%. Please do not try to reset all of them at once. I believe that was the first command that you can give. You just want to reset the oil, unless you've changed something else and you've corrected that code as well. But for this one, I just wanted to reset the oil. So here I go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 seconds. And you can see there, it will confirm, and there you go, the oil is back up to 100% again, brand new. I don't know exactly how this computer calculates it. I assume by mileage and by time. And of course, the last job is to double check for leaks and replace the guard. The first thing, of course, you have to do is hook it on the back on the plastic hooks, if you will, the mounts. And then you can begin putting plugs and screws back in once you feel it's properly aligned. And my apologies for the camera angle. All you have to do really is just press it and try to hook them on the back. Not on the back, near the back of the engine, I might say. The two plastic hangers are there. So once the bottom cover is properly aligned, you can replace those, pardon me, you can put them back, the plastic plugs. And also the screws can go back in. I believe there are 4 of them. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and thank you very much for your time and your attention, and I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow, and take good care.